3 exceptionally talented Terran players, and 1 Zergmaster. This was Group A of the 2024 GSL Season 2's Round of 8, a battle of experience and war tactics between 4 of the South Korean competition's well-known pro players. Maru, Su, Byan and Cure. 4 players had much to play for, but only 2 of them would reign supreme and advance to the competition's round of 4. Ruthless and unpredictable with his strategies, Cure was the first to find success when he squared up against fellow Terran player Byan in their best-of-3 set. It was a slow start for the duo on the opening map of Alcyone. Closing in on the 6-minute mark, Byan opened up first blood with a hefty bio drop in Cure's main, but it was thwarted almost immediately. Despite Byan's frequent medivac drop harassment, Cure was able to mass and move out a large force across the map. A loss of a command center was a devastating blow to the Terran in red.
Okay, so now Cure is...
Fighting from behind, Byan was able to even up the supply count after splitting his forces. The attack from 2 fronts neutralized several siege tanks, marines and ravens. Cure lost more numbers once more near the 13-minute mark. Byan was slowly taking over the map, all while picking fights he could clearly win.
Wow, that was a big dive in. They're coming forward.
With resources running dry, both players attempted to maintain their armies. Every unit became crucial, passing the incredibly lengthy 31-minute mark. With what little he had left, Byan focused on taking down Cure's last remaining mineral lines. But the Terran in blue always had an answer for his opponent.
I feel like this is,
Again, though, it does
the
seem
last breath of Byan in this map. I mean, he is really trading out a lot. He's down to 8 Marines tasteless.
he has these great engages that are then crushed by whatever Cure has, you know, somewhere else on the map. That's going to be a GG.
Mental exhaustion was kicking in when Byan and Cure hit up the map of Site Delta for Game 2. Medivacs crossed paths to reveal incoming drops from both sides. Cure went for an early front-on assault, but quickly felt the wrath of Byan's siege tanks and ravens, putting him at a heavy disadvantage. A war of Vikings turned into a brutal counter-attack when Byan scaled the high ground with Marines to decimate Cure's SCV count. Cure held his own in the center of the map, slowly massing his forces to assault Byan. Unfortunately, the damage had already been done. Cure was behind his opponent in supply, upgrades and map resources. The score was settled on Golden Aura, where Cure opted for an early mech-based setup. He denied Byan's 3rd command center, while his opponent moved in for the ultimate counterplay. Cure endured heavy SCV losses, but his army remained strong. With a couple of siege tanks and a handful of Viking left to defend, Byan left himself completely exposed to Cure. The Terran in blue sent reinforcements. Denying that crucial command center expansion won Cure the game and the best-of-3 series.
He's trying to take this 3rd base again.
Disable on that tank. I think he's going to try to get in there with the helmet.
Oh,
yeah, this game's over.
What
this
a killer
is
move.
What an odd Game 3. Okay, GG.
Cure had done it. He had locked in his spot in the winners' final. A ticket to the round of 4 was within arm's reach. There was one last challenge to face. The incredible Maru, the most feared player in the group, was coming off the back of a 2-0 win against Su and was more than prepared to clash with Cure for GSL progression. Cure would need to pull out the power plays to overthrow a Titan. Ocean-born was their first map, where Cure expanded quickly and Maru shifted into an early factory. Juggling units in and out of a medivac, Maru brought the fight to Cure, but no real damage was done.
Really thin here for Maru.
With disables on siege tanks, Cure forced Maru out of his threatening position, allowing him to focus on a third command center to strengthen his economy. Air support was torn apart by Cure's Vikings, thinning out Maru's numbers as his tanks rolled through what ground forces they could pick off on his retreat. At this point, Cure had the momentum to push and claim Game 1.
He has 4 Vikings, a tank, Cyclone, and Reaper. That's the whole army right now for Maru, and you can see he's desperate. He's pulling the SCVs to try and fight these Vikings on the low ground. And Cure is just running over this position. GG.
For the first time that evening, Maru lost a game. Cure only needed one more win to solidify his position in the 2024 Season 2 GSL Round of 4. Taking down Maru is no small feat, but Cure in his own right is a brilliant RTS master.
And now the SCV coming into the main base.
A trip to Ghost River for their second skirmish saw Cure drop down a proxy barracks.
Well, he should know something's up. I don't know if he knows. So
the early Reapers resulted in the halt and cancellation of Maru's second command center. A devastating blow for the Terran in red.
So big. Repair that.
Drops came in to scout information, doing very little damage in the process. With the Marine drop causing a distraction in Maru's main, Cure rolled out a sizable force to bunker down near Maru's next resource position. Cure attacking from the low ground was an effective pressure tactic. With disables scattered across siege tanks, Maru was able to control and defend by the skin of his teeth. Under the cover of siege tank fire, units were eliminated down to single digits before the 10-minute mark. Maru, however, lost 21 SCVs, affecting his economy greatly in the short term. With the fight brought to his side of the map, Cure was forced to lift his third command center. After taking down Cure's natural, it all started to fall apart for the Terran in red. Cure cut off vital reinforcements, cleaning up Maru's army by sandwiching them in from the north and south. With a massive 51 SCVs falling on the side of Cure, the next few minutes became an all-in scenario.
Well, where's the tanks? I mean, we saw one get picked off in the middle of the
where's Maru's macro? There's very little reinforcements coming in. The army supplies are even, but look at this bottleneck right now with the SCVs. Keep in mind, these are 2-2 Marines against the 1-1 of Maru, and there's so many more medevacs for Cure.
He's spreading really nicely.
Oh, wow, he's done it!
The Titan had fallen. Cure locked in his golden position to the round of 4. But as fate would have it, Maru's journey in the GSL was not over yet. In the final match of the evening, Maru and Sue would settle the score in a best-of-3 rematch. One player would progress while the other would bow out of the prestigious South Korean tournament. Early Reapers were shut down by Sue in Game 1's Site Delta, but Maru had found the information he needed to make his next move. Maru was forced to lift his third command center to escape the threat of roaches, ravagers and zerglings. Sue knew he couldn't challenge Maru head-on and chose to pull away immediately. With the Nidus Worm on standby, Sue picked a fight. Despite calling back his front line, he was able to kill off a healthy amount of SCVs, a small reward for a lot of effort. Maru's commitment to bio served him well. Roaches and Ravagers were torn to shreds as the Terran player purged creep and slowly assaulted his opponent's side of the map.
Yeah, here comes the reinforcements. Everything that dies is going to be too late to remake here. He can't really replenish this and kind of stabilize. GG!
The first game was Maru's, but the famed Terran star would have a much more difficult time beating out Sue in the minutes that followed.
Oh no!
Helion's putting the pedal to the metal came out on Oceanborn, seeking drone kills in Sue's main.
We might have 6 maybe.
Roaches and Ravagers returned for the Zerg player, while his opponent mounted a massive Marine-based army. By the 9-minute mark, a base trade started to occur. Su was forced to run his brood back home, while Maru decimated everything living in his path. Su may have lost his lair, but his main Roach and Ravager force was alive and healthy. Maru was forced to pull SCVs to help defend, while 3 medivacs worth of Marines approached Su's outlying hatchery. Constant and effective medivac drops across many of Su's hatcheries forced him to play defensively, allowing Maru to recover from the near loss and rebuild his bio-based army.
Su's trying to make it work. He's maxing up to try to help defend.
Su was having an extremely hard time breaching Maru's base, but with the right amount of numbers and well-placed fungals, he brought the Terran player to his knees. Maru was mined out. Despite having a couple of active mineral lines on the map, he knew it was only a matter of time before Su found the exposed nodes. Maru conceded willingly. One last game would decide the fate of these two players. To kick things off in the tiebreaker, Maru's early Reapers found huge value after disposing of a Queen and 2 drones, while Zerglings denied barracks add-ons uncontested. Further damage was done in a 2-pronged attack. Helions roasted drones by the numbers, while Marines put pressure on Su's 3rd. Surviving the heavy casualties, Su mounted a brutal force of Roaches and Ravagers, targeting down key infrastructure at the foot of Maru's base. It quickly turned into a base trade. Marines and siege tanks fortified the front line, wiping out the Zerg threat post-haste.
He's even going to get, oh, he almost got one more tank out with that. SCVs pulled. That does seem to be the play. When the Wallen falls, the SCVs are pulled. This should be game here, as they are, yeah, there it is. GG, Maru wins.
And just like that, the Titan of South Korean StarCraft 2 qualified to the round of 4 in the 11th hour, seeking yet another GSL trophy and title to add to his long list of victories. Maru and Cure will take on Group B's leading players in the June 27th Final 4. Don't miss a minute of the action over on the Africa TV Esports YouTube channel.
Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with the amazing esport content from around the gaming globe. Only on Unbeaten Esports.